A ghost of a woman will come from the other world to tell the truth about her murder. Don't miss out. The psychics will unveil a terrible family secret. You are watching Psychic Investigations. There are only real and impressive stories of resonant criminal cases and unbelievable mystical phenomena investigated by people who call themselves clairvoyants and use their supernatural abilities here. This incredible story began on a train while our experts, Jana Shulakova and Yaroslava Fedorova, were coming back from another investigation. At one of the stops, Jana became entranced and went out of the station.
A spirit called me. His name is Yuri. He said I had to stop deaths.
The next week, Jana Shulakova called our office because the spirit she'd seen started haunting her.
He wants me to stop a murderer. A family is dying because of a woman. Her name is Inna. He says, I'll show you where to find her.
2 days later, our crew, together with Jana Shulakova and Yaroslava Fedorova, is back at the same station.
Yuri is here. He's showing me some buildings of a light color. And next to them, there is something like a river.
I had a vision. I saw a woman. She was all covered in blood. She was stabbed. She only told me one phrase: "Find Eden." Yuri's spirit was standing next to the entrance door, pointing upstairs. This way.
The spirit is pointing at this apartment. Hello.
Hello. When I answered the door and saw Jana and Yaroslava, I was genuinely shocked.
We are experts from Psychic Investigations.
My name's Ina.
Ina is 43. She has a daughter and a son. She owns a cafe.
A man's spirit has brought us here.
He's fair-haired and not tall.
His name's Yuri.
He was my husband's friend. He died.
It turned out that 2 years ago, Yuri died of heart failure.
The man from the other world was worried that Ina's family was in danger, and so he brought us to her home so we could help. The cards are showing me something fall on your husband's head. It happened recently.
Yes?
Inna says that, not so long ago, a piece of slate fell on her husband's head from the neighboring building while he was coming back from work.
He had a craniocerebral injury.
After that, Ina herself witnessed her 20-year-old daughter being hit by a car while they were crossing the road on the green light.
The driver was drunk. She had a concussion and several fractures in her skull.
Yuri's spirit says your son almost died recently.
We had to save him. My husband caught him by the hand.
While Ina's son was standing on the balcony of their apartment, something shoved his shoulder, and he almost fell from the 8th floor. At the last moment, her husband, who was also there, caught their son.
And before that, you had a dream in which your son almost died, didn't you?
Yes.
The woman saw an otherworldly entity in her dream. According to my feelings, it doesn't want to take Ina's son alone, but her whole family. And it is showing her this, in her dreams, intentionally.
A small and narrow river. And first, I saw my husband, son, and daughter on the same bank as me. And then they started crossing the river, but I saw I couldn't cross.
In all such dreams, Ina always saw a terrible black figure around her family.
The silhouette like a shadow. I beg you for help. I fear something irrevocable can happen.
The clairvoyants go down to the van to take their ritual items.
I had a very strange vision. A woman came into a dark little room and hid something small, emanating strong necrotic energy, in the wardrobe. And then, in the mirror next to her, another reflection appeared. It had no face.
Let me work in the apartment. What if we find a charm in it? There is an otherworldly entity here. You feel it.
I hear footsteps and breathing and see shadows all the time, but I can't see anybody.
The walls are clean. No traces of a charm.
The cards are saying that this entity has been bound to you through a thing, which is not here at the moment. What could it be?
I don't know.
I see a woman who has been snatched out of the other world, suddenly.
It's my niece. She experienced clinical death. She spent some time in the intensive care unit, but she was eventually saved.
What's her name?
Ilona.
She almost died due to the same entity that's bound to you.
Hello.
Hello? I see you standing. Then you're dizzy, and that's it. You remember nothing.
I came to the kitchen to have coffee in the morning. Fortunately, my husband was home. He gave me artificial respiration and called an ambulance quickly. They barely started my heart. They said another 10 or 15 seconds and I would be dead.
If the medics hadn't started Ilona's heart, her 2 children would have been orphans.
The spirits over there.
The window of the shed in Ilona's yard suddenly cracked.
I see a woman, her hair is cut short and it's curly. She's your bloodline.
It's my sister, Ilona's mother.
Yes.
She's covered in blood.
Was she murdered?
Yes.
She's here to help you.
She says, "Tell them the truth about my murderer, and I'll show who's avenging my sister."
What was her name?
Svetlana.
The woman from my vision was Svetlana. She was all bloodied. She was stabbed.
37 knife wounds.
The awful tragedy occurred in 2002. Svetlana was found stabbed to death at the grocery store where she worked. It was in a village that is an hour's drive from here. The woman lived there with her husband and 2 daughters. She was 38.
I still miss her, and I want to embrace her so much.
The woman's daughters, 11-year-old Zoriana and Ilona, who had just turned 15, stayed orphans.
It was really terrible.
She's telling me he's not guilty.
There's a man. He was accused, and he was punished.
Hori. He's from the neighboring village.
The police found Hrihori, a 30-year-old resident of the neighboring village, guilty of the woman's murder.
A slip knot on his neck.
He was found hung in a grove.
The man killed himself the same night, several hours after Svetlana's death. He was convicted of her murder afterward.
They said he was addicted to drugs,
Like an addict needed money.
but her gold jewelry was intact. It wasn't a robbery.
Neither was the money stolen from the cash register. The women think Grigori couldn't possibly have any other motive apart from the robbery, as he didn't even know the victim.
Do you think somebody else killed her?
We thought the father did it.
My father.
That is her husband.
Yes.
What's his name?
Stanislav.
What happened?
You were supposed to have a baby from your father.
What?
He raped her.
A shocking revelation. Did the father rape his own daughter?
It's true.
Ilona says she came home from school. Her sister wasn't there. Her father approached her, and then her recollection is cloudy.
It's very hard for me to recall it all, and
He told her, "Why do you need somebody to be your first man? It would be better if I am the first. I'll do it delicately, and it won't hurt."
it happened after Mom died.
What a bastard you have to be to rape your own daughter who has just lost her mother and has nobody to protect her.
And before that, did he harass you?
Yes.
Did you tell your mom?
He said, if you say something, I'll kill you. I was 15. What could I do?
And what about the baby?
An abortion. Did I have any other choice? They did it without anesthesia or anything. They simply scraped me from the inside, and that was it.
Ilona says she ran out of tears when she was 15. The girl went through an awful humiliation, but she couldn't even tell anybody about it, neither her friends nor teachers, because she thought it was a great shame.
I phoned Ina and said, please take me away from here. I can't stay in this place.
We arrived here by car and took Ilona to the town.
Ina convinced her niece to report the rape to the police, but Ilona's father was not punished.
They closed his case due to a lack of evidence.
Had they done it immediately and taken all the necessary samples, then it would have given results. But they simply told me it was too late. Besides, he hired a good lawyer.
According to Ilona's family, a woman who eventually became his second wife helped the man to find the lawyer.
It was less than 40 days after Svetlana's death when he brought the new woman into the house. What else can I add here?
Ina did everything to return her niece to a normal life. She nurtured her like her own child, and she made sure the girl's father wouldn't even approach her.
How come such a monster wasn't punished?
We could do nothing. His other daughter stayed with him.
Your sister?
Yes,
She's 4 years younger. She refuses to believe me. She's always claimed Dad was good.
And Stanislav isn't among the living.
He hung himself at home.
Why did he do it?
we have no idea.
It was possible this was the reason Stanislav's spirit was trying to avenge Ina's family. Yet, we didn't know who had stabbed the woman. At that moment, I remembered the words that Svetlana had told me in my vision: find Eden.
Eden is the grocery store where she worked.
In the village.
The psychics go to the village in which Svetlana lived. Many things have changed at the store where Ilona's mother was murdered brutally, and it's not even called Eden anymore.
I saw Svetlana and blood on the floor at the counter. She was slashed horribly. Was she lying over there?
Yes, she was all bloody. This is unbearable.
He hits her in the head. Then he grabs a knife. The knife was somewhere here. He's in a haze and doesn't understand what he's doing.
Did her husband kill her or not?
That man wasn't her family.
Does this mean the murderer wasn't Svetlana's husband? But who could do such a terrible thing to the woman, and for what?
He came here to take the money from the register.
But something scared him.
He heard a voice that said, "Mom?"
A child found Svetlana. It was a girl.
My sister.
Yes, Zoriana.
Zoriana lives nearby with her husband and 2 children. When she heard from her aunt that the psychics are investigating her mother's murder, she immediately came.
How old were you?
11. I called Mom, but nobody answered. And so, the girls and I went behind the counter and saw Mom there.
Do you know if the murderer is alive?
The man hung himself.
He's thin and young. I see drops of blood on his jacket.
And so it was Shihori all in all.
He was on drugs. And when he got sober and realized what he had done, he killed himself.
But you said it wasn't him.
Do you mean the phrase that I heard? She says, he's not guilty.
Your deceased sister meant her husband.
Svetlana wanted her family to know the truth. It hurts her to see them suffer for so many years, thinking that her husband killed her. Stanislav only killed himself. He might have been an awful person, a son of a bitch, a rapist. He might have been a terrible father and a bad husband, but he wasn't a murderer.
Your mother says, take care of each other, and I'll always be nearby. You are a family, and you must be together.
Because of their father, they didn't talk at all.
I always thought that that she slandered my father's name. All these years. But what I learned today...
I think everything is going to be all right. Can you ask my sister how she's doing up there?
She says she misses your communication.
Not so long before it happened, we'd started speaking rarely. Can you ask her to forgive me? I love her. And I miss her.
And then Svetlana's spirit showed me the entity that was bound to Ina, killing her relatives. But it had no face. It changed constantly. You see this entity in different shapes.
Yes. Its head wasn't human, it had horns. Then there was a spider and a large toad. I wasn't sleeping, I rubbed my eyes, but then it disappeared.
It's definitely an otherworldly entity that's avenging on her, as only it can shift its shape.
You can only bind such an entity to somebody.
Through some magic.
A woman did it.
Tell me, have you ever been to see a fortune teller or somebody like that?
No, never.
And then I heard the voice of Svetlana's spirit again. Go where you began the search.
She wants us to go to the station.
The clairvoyants and Ina are on their way to the station, but half a kilometer away from it, something has fallen on the van.
A branch from a tree, and it was strange, as it wasn't windy that evening.
Your sister's spirit is giving us a sign.
We must resume the search, using the pendulum.
The pendulum is taking the clairvoyant through courtyards until it stops in front of a residential building.
The entity was summoned in this building.
I lived here with my first husband and his mother.
Ina is married for the second time. She and her first husband were married for 13 years and had 2 children. After they divorced, Ina moved out, but her ex-mother-in-law still lives here.
The woman is young. She's holding a book and a wisp of hair. Yes, it's hair and wax. Looks like a voodoo doll. I see her.
Have you ever made a wax doll?
I had to bind the candles like this.
Whose hair was it?
My ex-husband's.
Were you trying to put a love spell on him? Disappointment in love?
Yes. He cheated on me all the time. I simply wanted to save our family. I used to have a book, and in it, I read that I had to make a wax doll with his hair. I had to say something, then wrap it in his shirt and hide it.
It's a bad charm. It's black magic.
Doing such things, you can accidentally summon an evil entity, and so it got bound to you.
This is unbelievable. The psychics were searching for the woman who bound the killing entity to Ina, but it turned out she did it herself.
I beg you, please help me. I was stupid and only wanted to keep my husband.
We decided to carry out a ritual to send the entity back to the place from where Ina had summoned it, to the world of darkness. We need to go back to you place.
The entity began ravaging all over the protection circle. Jana and I weren't the only ones to see it.
What is going on? A large speaker on the floor stares, swinging itself.
That's all.
The entity won't escape this mirror.
I am grateful to you for everything you did.
Amazingly, the woman almost lost everyone she loves when she tried to keep her cheating husband by using magic. If you're impressed by the story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more fascinating stories are coming up.